northern states always want to be in charge of everything, and we know how that has been over the years. And remember that, the southeast and also south have been fighting for VAT collection and all of that. And, the northerners have said that they don't want anything like VAT being collected by state, that the federal government should keep collecting it. And we know why they had to say that, just because they know that half of this will be given to them, even without their state, producing or, anything being produced by the northern state. They know they're definitely still going to have a lion's share of, from the revenue. But now the states are saying that no. I remember that the Lagos state and also River State already passed a law that states would collect VAT, and that has been, and that case is still very much at large. But here we have the Northeast demands lion's share of revenue allocations to states and local governments. This is really getting more interesting. I'll give more details, but please stay tuned. Don't forget to like and share this video. If you have not subscribed, please do so, and also like this video. All right, friends, without further ado, let us get right into the details of this report. 7 states from the Northeast yesterday asked the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission to give it lion's share of revenue to state and local government. They argue that the two tiers of government should take 60%, while the federal government takes 40%, pointing out that state governments are also saddled with funding of security apparatus, which is the sole responsibility of the federal government. The states Kaduna, Kano, Katsina, Sokoto, Jigawa, Kebbi, and Zamfara, in their separate presentations, made the demand during the zonal public hearing on the review of the current allocation formula held in Kaduna. In the current sharing arrangement, the federal government, including special funds, is entitled to 52.68%, while state government gets 26.72% and local government receives 20.6%. In its presentation, Katsina called for 35% for states, 25% for local government. The Commissioner for Budget and Economic Planning, Alhaji Farouk Jobe, said the revenue allocation was long overdue and its review is timely because it is getting to 30 years that the allocation was reviewed. Secretary to Kano State Government Alhaji Usman Alhaji lamented that the federal government was taking too much of the revenue. Federal government should take 41%, state 34%, and local government 24%. And we need an independent 1% for Kano because it is a mini Nigeria, he said. The Jigawa State Commissioner for Finance and Budget, Alhaji Ibrahim Babangida Umar, proposed 44% for federal, 34% for states, and 22% for local government. Kaduna State Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Finance, Mohammed Shaibu, said certain percentage be set aside for poverty and insecurity-ridden states, and 13% derivation should remain but extended to mineral resources. In his keynote address, host Governor Nasir El-Rufai said, the federal government retains the largest chunk of federation resources because it does too much but is too stretched, and so does little well. Yet the things that really matter to citizens are state and local government functions. For instance, basic and secondary education, primary health care, and agriculture are subnational responsibilities. The governor, who was represented by his deputy, Dr. Hadiza Balarabe, said, with the way things are, many states have to support the federal security agencies deployed within their jurisdictions, despite the fact that security is a federal responsibility. Therefore, the argument for a significant review in favor of states of the vertical revenue allocation formula is compelling. The federal government has to consolidate its focus around security, foreign affairs, and monetary and fiscal policy. It should allow the states and the local government get more revenues to deliver better governance at the grassroots. The APC True Federalism Committee, which I chaired, have recommended a review of the revenue allocation formula in favor of the states. In my view, this is the most efficient way to adjust the financings of the federation while transiting to a wider devolution of powers and responsibilities. The progress and development of our country depends on well-functioning states. The revenue allocation formula is critical to that. Chairman of RMAFC, Elias Mbam, in his remarks, explained that revenue allocation was not reviewed for 29 years, contrary to constitutional provisions of every 5 years because of socio-economic and political changes in the country. The allocation was last reviewed in 1992. He said the commission was ready to present a new revenue sharing formula to the president for onward transmission to the National Assembly by December, adding that ongoing consultation and sensitization across the country were aimed at avoiding past pitfalls that made past attempts to review the formula unsuccessful. As you may all be aware, RMAFC, by virtue of paragraph 32, subsection 2, part 1 of the third schedule to the 1999 Constitution as amended, is empowered. Meanwhile, the Fiscal Responsibility Commission (FRC) has raised concern over increasing debt of states and looming volatility to the nation's economy. Besides, the commission has threatened to invoke legal action against commercial banks and other financial institutions already turning themselves into willing tools of fiscal carelessness by granting loans to states without recourse to due process, as outlined in Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007. Chairman of the Commission, Victor Muruako, who issued a warning yesterday during a sensitization workshop on fiscal transparency and accountability in Kano, lamented failure of many state governments to adopt prudent management of their resources. Maroka, who explained that current situation of the nation's economy requires fiscal responsibility from all tiers of government, is worried that sub-national authorities had neglected their commitment to fiscal sustainability plans, FSP. Morocco warned that state governments who already formed the habit of making loans their first and last consideration for meeting revenue shortfalls to desist, while urging them to focus more on harvesting their dormant potentials for initial generated revenue, IGR. Yes, that is the most important. States should learn how to generate, revenues for their states instead of going about borrowing, because that is what brought Nigeria to the level to which it is today. So, my dear people, you've heard it all. Thank you so much for staying tuned. That is the meeting with the Southeast governors. Yes, drop your comment. Let's hear from you, and also give this video a thumbs up. To have a pleasant time. Bye for now.